sins. Wipe it, they can't win. No new friends, football fans, they sleep again. We wake them up, the champs is in. Yeah.
One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash coming in. Come get your man, Slim Booker bugging me. Just need a bag, quit all that jaw jackery. Don't even be that, I don't want none of it. He's mad about it, had enough of it. Whoa, watch what you saying, how that popping and shaking. Got is a laser, my posse deep and I raiding. We act a fool for the paper, had a dream and I made it. El Camino on Dayton's, bitches guess over bait. Put the bread on me, bet on my bacon. Big it flat in the bacon, I might just roll out today. I might just roll out to Vegas, head back to my old ways. Cop a roof all day. Look at me, baby. Don't I look like a million? I'm about to clean out the safe. Don't I look like somebody that just be bodying everything? All that talking is great, but I don't be talking. I air it out. All the problems have gotten easy to bury. I'd rather kiss on my. I've been broke way longer than I've been rich, so until it levels out, I'ma take mama to the Marriott and took me so long to get it, gonna spread it out. Let them know all about me when I'm dead and gone. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. I'ma need all the fries you can give me, all the hot sauce, all the pie you can give me. Better be all or nothing, don't have me in the middle. You better be all you can, yeah. Super fly for the Dumbos, plenty slides like a shuffle. Hit the cadence on my young Isaac Hayes, Billy Ocean, about the old with the cane stick. Let my slippers at the function. It's hard to run the Gucci slides. I bet you say you didn't never. I'ma stand no. Jackie Chan, no travel. Can't clean it with the beat. Dripping from the. No, not me. I can never be the one you want to stop.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the Green Bay Packers. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Raider first. On first down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll set up to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Carr now on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. On play action, now Carr going top shelf for. This is caught inside the 15. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
Back to throw here. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Shotgun now for Carr. And the pressure gets to him again. Joe Schobert in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough, and it'll be 4th down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field of the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Raider first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll look to throw here. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Raider first.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. 1st and 10 right at the 20. This is Breida. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. And they've got it here with a first down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Throw left side, caught by Butler. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll look to throw. Well, he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up fourth.
It was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no, they went to him on first down, second down, third down, all three incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Leopard!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think the Raiders are going to be able to hold on to it, yes.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Detroit!
He'll drop to throw. His throw caught right around the 6. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. As his guys are in for 6, and the Raiders add 6 to their lead.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Ohio! Ohio!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. He'll look to throw. And it's complete. Henry. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
11 more on that one and another 1st down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. They'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Equinemius St. Brown. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. But there's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
They go play action here on 1st down. And a very good return as he takes us all the way up to the 35-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. The tackle there by John Johnson.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And that is incomplete.
Was trying to extend the life of that play, wasn't he? Got out of the pocket, ended up scrambling off to his left, trying to find anyone open downfield to try and make a big-time play.
Thought he had an opening there for a second, but that window closed pretty quickly. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. They're going to look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Hansen. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
And on the ground they go with the running back. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. Ready for the regular season with his second touchdown of the game. And the Raiders add on to their lead. Point after here coming up. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and... This is intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out. And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to. And they'll run it here. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall. That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them. He'll get it up the middle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Boy, you'd hate to squander this great field position. Here's 3rd and goal. He'll look to throw. Packer pressure, and down he goes. And now the Packers going to take another timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. And his kick is good. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead. And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this. I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10.
Flex round!
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 32 that time. They'll throw now on the final play. Looking deep for Adams. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
Well, certainly they haven't had the ideal first half, but there's some momentum for them to take into halftime.
Yeah, and it might not be that wild momentum, that you see sometimes when they score late and teams go sprinting off and the whole deal. No, it might not be that, but it does give them a better feeling about themselves and what they can accomplish in the second half.
So we have reached halftime in our first preseason matchup of the year. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is
I'm
doing it, though.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off near the 32. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. First possession in the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now back to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Gregory. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down. This quarterback now 4 of 5 since coming on. It's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Detroit. Detroit.
They'll drop to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half. Incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
The Raiders on third down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll set up a throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a second down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. Now a play fake here on first down. And the Raiders have got him. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, you know, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football, not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process.
And that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage particularly...
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Stephon Diggs, 30 yards. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit. Point after, right down the middle. And that cuts this lead down to 13. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And an alley to run. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. In for the score. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Now a 2-point conversion attempt forthcoming.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from the special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking out some responsibility, but he was happy to do so there.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back to throw here. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
Taken in at the 22. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And they'll go on the ground. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Nick Nelson, who played his college ball at Wisconsin, had the tackle.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Lucky 56.
Looking to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Flex round! Flex round!
Back to throw now on 1st down. That's caught left side by Jake Butt. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. That's caught by Butler over the middle. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there, but how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
They'll look to throw here. Throw left side, caught by Butler. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
occasionally you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the fourth. They'll set up to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
This Raider defense not giving in. They'll try to hold once more on 3rd and goal. He'll drop to throw. And it'll be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Raiders on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll look to throw. He's got the first down and more past the 40 as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. A Raider first down, 17 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. He'll look to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve. And that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
Back to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 35. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Rolling to, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
On play action, they'll throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 16. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. And now the Packers get set to go. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to let it fly. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
He'll look to throw. And now another one thrown incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. And they'll go with a ground attack here. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Detroit! Detroit!
And on the ground they go with a running back. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down. And they'll run it here. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
We got three. Three down. Hey, fellas, we got three. Let's go.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner,